The COVID pandemic has revealed something that many of us have already been commenting on, and that is that our modern society has failed when it comes to caring for our elders. Let's talk about the need to change our perspective on the life models that our modern society offers for the care of our elderly. If the main challenge of the last century was survival, this century's challenge will be that of the quality of life of the elders. My name is Albert Cervera, and I am specialized in the humanization of organizations and in transforming paradigms to improve the lives of people, always putting people in the center. We are experiencing a progressive aging of society, and in fact, it is expected that by the year 2025, more than 1.2 billion people around the world will be over 60 years of age. In the 50s, life expectancy was only 47 years, and now we are talking about 67 years on average for everyone. The majority of people in the world have already exceeded 80 years of life expectancy in the most developed countries, and if we add to this unstoppable aging trend in our society, the problems that exist of loneliness, where, to give you some data, in the case of Spain, there are already 5 million people who live in loneliness. That is 10% of the population, of which half are over 65 years old, and this trend is also expected to continue increasing. The residences of the elderly that we know today began to flourish in the 70s in the case of Spain, and have greatly improved their image of what came to be those ancient asylums of elderly people, very focused on the elderly. Current residences still have a very hotel-like typology, converted into anonymous spaces where personalized attention is somewhat complicated and where being able to have a full life project and autonomous becomes something almost utopian. The model of residence has not changed significantly in recent years, at least not in the same way that the people who live there have changed. And I'm going to give you a fact. In the year 1981, the average age of people in these residences was 76 years. And nevertheless, in the year 2019, he had already reached the average age of 86 years. We are not surprised that residences are the worst valued places by the elderly to live in them. And I wonder, with the amount of progress that we have made as a human being and as a society in all areas of life, is the life proposal that we are making to our elders really the best of the solutions that have been given? There are several trends that this type of residences and centers specializing in the care of the elderly must follow. But the main concern they should have is to ensure the highest degree of quality of life and well-being possible for its users. The residences need a general improvement aimed at humanization. And instead of focusing on their personal and organizational needs, we focus on caring for people. Of course, the protocols will have to be reviewed so that each of the users receives the necessary medical attention. But we should not fall into the temptation of converting these centers into hospitalized places where buildings only prioritize safety. It is about taking care and not just healing. Being older does not necessarily mean being sick, and in fact, few people want to live in a hospital.
I think the future of elder care lies in small intergenerational communities where the members support each other in various ways. We tend to think of elders as having a lot of need, or we forget how much they have to offer. Picture seniors living alongside a few staff members and their children. Staff can help seniors with their needs, while seniors can offer a rich, secure extended family to help raise their children. The cost would be lower and the experience much more rewarding than many traditional care facilities, as they share in the joys and challenges of everyday life.
Here the key question is, are we prepared to have 20, 25, 30 or 35 years of retirement and leisure? This represents a total challenge for the current social structure of our society. The way in which we adapt as a society to this new reality will affect not only the elders of the present, but also the elders of the next generations. We can no longer talk about elders as a cohesive and uniform segment. There are some segments of the elderly society that are in good health and do not want to be institutionalized in the place, but they do not want to be living in solitude in their homes. There are some segments of the population that what they want is to have their home adapted, with their home services, with environments that are friendly, and with communities that support them. Other segments of the population prefer to move to homes, where they are offered all specialized services. It is also known as sheltered homes. Others will want to set it up on their own and organize with their friends what is known as co-living. And others will prefer to live in their home. Individualized and private, but sharing the common services with others. It is the well-known co-housing. And if we finally have to move to a community residence, it should be small and cozy, where we have individual rooms that they can make us feel at home and have space to carry out our daily activities. Small spaces where they can live together, socialize, eat in small groups, making them feel like they are in a small house. We have to remember that we will all be older at some point in our lives, and if at some point in our existence we need external help and we have to move, we should start thinking from now on how, where, and in what conditions we would like to age. We are facing a unique opportunity for a social and scientific change in terms of adapting the environment to an aging population, but it has to be towards a more dignified, fuller, more natural, and more human life. And the challenge we have today is to build a world that responds as well to the needs of the elderly as to the needs of young people. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me and for being interested in this subject as well as me. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to receive more content like this. Thank you very much and have a nice day.